Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to this latest Bray Wyatt theory video. A big thank you to everyone that's been sending through their thoughts, sending through their theories. I've been trying to work through those all day, and we've kind of gathered together lots of interesting bits, and I think there's some stuff in here that you're really going to enjoy. Let's start though with Bray's bio, because his bio changed just the other day. So where were the spiders while the fly tried to break our bones? Now, straight away, I know the reference to that. Sadly, I was doing a UFC stream, so it's only today that I have seen this. But straight away, as I said, I know what that is. It connects to David Bowie. Now, I am a relatively big David Bowie fan. And David Bowie was always known for his reinvention. He was always coming up with new characters, new personas, and that was kind of something he was really known for. So it's very, very interesting that we are seeing Bray now starting to quote David Bowie so often. Obviously, he's just changed his bio. Obviously, in the QR codes, we got the telephone number. The telephone number was lyrics from another David Bowie song, The Man Who Sold the World. So it seems like that's the connection. The connection is David Bowie, and as we said, known for his reinvention. This is Uncle Grimmy, who has been killing it. Uncle Grimmy is absolutely all over this. So a big shout out to Uncle Grimmy. He said, another David Bowie reference, the song was inspired by the legendary Stardust Cowboy, who pioneered psychobilly music in the 1960s. I've quickly looked into that, but I don't think there's anything to really explore. It is very interesting, though, that this was inspired by a cowboy, because, of course, Uncle Howdy seems to be giving off those vibes. Now, obviously, it's hard to know who we're calling Uncle Howdy these days. For the longest time, we were calling that Mask, the one that kept interrupting Bray. We were calling that Uncle Howdy, but it doesn't feel like that's Uncle Howdy anymore. It feels like the person that said, Howdy. It feels like that is Uncle Howdy. So, yes, we are obviously going to touch on all of that as well, still to come. But, yeah, love that. That's some real great insights. We're going to move on to the psychological evaluation form. Now, this has been very, very interesting because I have noticed at the top that there seems to be something sticking through at the top of the form. And I don't know if you can see it, but if we go over here, you can see life is a circle, saying that there's like 3 figures that are like coming through. Now, I couldn't work out why this was the case, because if it's something underneath, why is it showing through? It felt to me like this had maybe been scratched on afterwards, but I don't think that's the case now, because what we've managed to do is Moller Chris has managed to find an actual form that's got that logo at the top of it, which is really exciting. So what I did is I managed to figure out that it said Department of Health and Social. So I went on Google and I looked through all the logos for the different departments of health and social. And what I found was this, the Washington State Department of Social and Health Services. And it's got the same logo on it. Now, I don't know if that is just kind of, they've tried to cover it and it's leaked through somehow, or if they really want you to know that Bray was in Washington State. I have no idea, but it is very interesting that that logo was fairly visible. And with a little bit of research, you're able to find out that it connects to Washington State Department of Social and Health Services. So it feels like Bray was psychologically evaluated in Washington State. I don't know if they want us to know that. I have no idea if we're meant to know that, but that is certainly the impression that I'm getting. And again, a shout out to Uncle Grimmy, who literally just sent it through, that he'd just found the same connection as well. We're going to move on from that because it's hard to know really what we're to take away from that, but it is very interesting. We're going to move on to what I think is Uncle Howdy. Now, you need to study this picture because there's so many different thoughts here. S2 thinks that that is not a mask, but that is the collar turned up. I'm not 100% certain, to be honest. I personally think it's a mask. So I think that that is a mask. I think the mask is slightly away from the face because you can see there's some like facial hair that's under the mask. And I think that's just resulting in the mask coming slightly away from the face, which is why we've got a slight shadow underneath it. Plus also it does need to kind of rise because it, I think, connects to the nose. Just the brief bit you can see of the nose, that doesn't look like a real human nose to me. It doesn't like feel like the markings are of a real human nose. So it feels to me like the nose and the cheek part are connected. I believe that is a mask personally. There is another interesting theory though, and that is that Riddick thinks that this may be a puppet. This whole thing may be a puppet. Again, right now, if I was to put my money on something, I would say that's a person wearing a mask. The cheek connects to the nose. But yeah, it's just worth keeping an open mind. Now, who this is obviously very interesting. I think we're all pretty much in agreement it's not Bray, which is, again, very interesting. There's a big theory that this could be Barry Windham, and that is Bray's uncle. Now, it could be, because, of course, it could be that Barry is interested in coming back and, you know, being a part of the wrestling world because he was a wrestler. He was in the WWE back in the day. So it could be, but there's a few other thoughts as to who this person is. And one of the leading thoughts is that it's Tyler Bateman from Ring of Honor. Now, Rob's Pippin Road and Cal W and a few other of you as well has sent this over, that it could be Tyler Bateman. Now, what's really interesting about Tyler Bateman is that he used to be in a faction, in a group with Dutch and Vincent. Now, we have spoken a lot about these guys. So here you can see Jazza saying, what if all three of them are coming? So we might be getting Dutch, Vincent, and Tyler Bateman. All three could be joining up with Bray Wyatt to form a new faction. And there is another point here as well. Jazza says, what if they're joining the Circle? And I kind of like the idea of this group being called the Circle, because Bray said on SmackDown, I go where the Circle takes me. So what if the Circle is a group? What if the Circle is a faction? Obviously, it feels like the Circle is life as well. You know, how life keeps going round and repeating itself. And so, you know, he may be referring to that. But equally, it is worth just keeping an open mind. He might be referring and giving us the first clue that that's the name of a new faction. So, yes, if those three are going to be in a new faction, chances are that this character is going to be with them. Now, we believe that this is Bo. We think it's Bo because obviously there's big rumors that Bo is coming back. That is Windham's, Bray's real-life brother. So we think it's Bo. But I do want to shout out William Hensey, who literally, just as I was about to start recording this, sent me this, which is Jesse Windham. Now, I don't even know of a Jesse Windham, but it's very interesting that he's got that kind of long hair, and I believe he is the cousin, a wrestling cousin of Bray Wyatt. So this could be very interesting. This could be connected in some way. He is the son of Barry Windham. So it might be that Barry Windham could be Uncle Howdy, and his son could be the person behind that Court of Owls mask. So there's definitely a few thoughts and theories that are out there. Whoever is at the top of the stairs behind that mask, it feels like they're a fourth person. If we are getting Dutch, Vincent, and Tyler Bateman, then we've got the person in the mask. Then, of course, we've got Bray. He would be in that group as well. So without even trying, we're already up to 5 members of this group. And I do want to just point out, this was taken from SmackDown. And there was a lot of talk about his jacket, his top, and the panels at the top. And that they are some reference to something. I found the image. It's this image right here. And this image is from Dante's Inferno. You might remember there's been a lot of talk about abandon all hope ye who enter here. That has been taken from Dante's Inferno, and it feels like Bray is getting a lot of his references and a lot of the kind of direction of some of these characters from Dante's Inferno. One of the things that's worth pointing out, actually, is I don't know the name of this character, but he's holding up his own head, just like Bray used to do when he was the Fiend. He would come down with the lantern, which was his own head. So you can see some of the references that Bray has taken from Dante's Inferno. Of course, if we've got 5 members, we're going to need one more, and it very much feels like Liv Morgan could be that person. And part of the reason why is we're seeing a change. We're seeing her embrace a more extreme kind of darker style persona. She's also living on a farm, I believe, with Bo Dallas, Bray's real-life brother. And so you've got to think she has been involved in quite a few personal, off-the-record, behind-the-scenes conversations. So it really wouldn't be that out there for her to join up with this group and be the female in the group. That would take us to 6. Effortlessly, we have got to 6. That would be the Wyatt 6, the Windham 6, potentially, right? Potentially. Obviously, there's still thoughts out there that the Wyatt 6, Windham 6 is going to be 6 personas that Bray is playing and that they're going to all be within Bray. I don't feel like this Uncle Howdy is Bray, though. I definitely get the vibe that there are other people involved in this, which is why I am thinking that we will end up getting a faction of some sort. Just before we move on from this and go on to the next subject, it is worth just finishing up with Tyler Bateman. Tyler Bateman apparently used to have a white rabbit as his logo. So shout out to Mike, said that he was combing through theories and he came across Tyler Bateman's old logo and it used to be a white rabbit. And as he says there, it's all falling into place. So might be something, might be nothing, but I think we can agree it is interesting. Moving on to the next thing then. So Cole Brookfield's original design said, not sure if anyone's picked up on this. I think I might be onto something with the lighting in his artwork. Great artwork, by the way. Seems to reflect the mood and the character. He paces from left to right, and listen how he speaks when he's facing certain colors, certain lights. Now, that's a very interesting thought because the red and the blue is really, really coming through. We saw it when he first arrived and did his promo in the ring on SmackDown. We saw it when he was backstage and he did his backstage promo on SmackDown just gone. It's been pointed out as well by Jedo955. All of the graphics for Bray Wyatt Returns has got the red and blue light in there. We know as well the lantern used to be red, and now that has changed to blue. And as Stefan19 points out, the red and the blue colours on the Bray Wyatt story continue to appear. The evil mask has red eyes, and his lantern is now blue. Maybe red is evil and blue is the normal side of Bray Wyatt. Again, something just to keep an eye out for. We know that when The Fiend used to wrestle, he used to wrestle under a red light. And so I kind of always feel that the Funhouse, because it had that kind of blue sky background, that was always kind of blue in its presentation. And so I feel like the red and the blue has kind of been there for a while. And it's just interesting to see that they're really leaning into that. So keep an eye out on the red and the blue, and we'll continue to see how that is used going forwards. The final thing I wanted to talk about was this speech, this promo from Bray. There was something he said that made me think he was talking about himself in regards to that person that keeps interrupting him. Right at the end, he said, "I know who you are." It could be him. "I know what you want," because it's him. "I know what you're trying to do," because it's him. "But it won't work." I confess, along this journey, I'm going to do horrible things, but I'll never feel sorry for them. Now, that "for them" is very interesting because there's two ways of taking it. First way is I will never feel sorry for them, meaning the people that he's going to do these horrible things to. The second way of taking it is for them, the things he's going to do. He'll never feel sorry for doing them, those things. So again, I confess, along these journey, I'm going to do horrible things, but I'll never feel sorry for them. I think he's talking about not being sorry for the things that he's going to do. When he says "for them," I don't think he's talking about those people. I think he's talking about the things he's going to do. He won't be sorry for doing them. And so I don't think there's anything here that suggests that the person he's talking about or the people he's talking about are other people. I think these other people, I think they are him. I think all of this is him. I think that the other characters that are coming in, like Uncle Howdy, that's clearly someone else. And the person at the top of the stairs, that's clearly someone else. But I think they are connected to the darker side of Bray. The darker side of Bray seems to be that masked character persona that keeps interrupting this version of Bray. And one of the biggest reasons why I think that that is Bray and why they are connected is because Bray has already wore that mask. When we very first saw Bray return and he walked through the door, he was wearing this mask. We have not seen him in this mask since, but this could be a massive clue. This could be a huge clue. He is wearing the mask that is identical to that persona that keeps interrupting him. And so that is a major connection, and that is why I think that character persona, whatever keeps interrupting him, the one we thought was called Uncle Howdy, which seemingly now isn't, that's why I think that could be Bray. So I just wanted to get that out there onto video. I think we've kind of touched on this before, but I wanted to make sure that we were getting this into one of these videos. Thanks a lot for watching. Really appreciate it. Keep sending through your thoughts and theories. There will be loads more of these types of videos on the way. Hopefully you found some good stuff in here, some stuff that got you thinking, and I will see you again next time. Bye for now.